Welcome. My name is Bill Falls, and I have the privilege of serving as Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences, and I am tremendously honored to preside over one of the university's most revered traditions, the Endowed Faculty Investiture Ceremony. The College of Arts and Sciences is home to nearly 24 endowed faculty positions, the oldest of which was established over 150 years ago. Today, we have the pleasure of celebrating the appointment of a truly outstanding faculty member to an endowed faculty position. In just a few minutes, Dr. Keith Kleypas will be formally invested as the inaugural Nelson-Mahan Green and Gold Professor in Earth Sciences. We're privileged to be joined this morning by several distinguished guests, including representatives from Vermont's state government agencies and the Vermont business community. Thank you for being here. I'm also pleased to acknowledge the participation of many university leaders who have gathered here to celebrate this momentous occasion. We are especially grateful to have our esteemed donors, Jeff, Nelson, and Paul Mahan, with us, and are delighted to have so many of their family and friends here participating as well. And finally, we thank faculty, staff, and students from the college who have joined us to pay tribute to Professor Kleypas upon this special occasion. As Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences, it gives me great pleasure to welcome back our graduates to campus and acknowledge the success that they have enjoyed in their professional lives. It is particularly gratifying to acknowledge you, Jeff, as a multiple degree holder from UVM and to congratulate you on your successful professional career. The Bachelor of Science degree in geology that you earned from UVM in 1983, coupled with your summer employment while a student working in Burlington with the environmental engineering firm that one of our professors founded, provided a strong foundation for your career. With the additional knowledge and expertise you gained from your UVM master's degree in civil engineering in 1992, you launched your own company, Pioneer Environmental Associates, in 1996. And over the ensuing years, many UVM graduates were fortunate to become your employees. Pioneer Environmental was acquired by VHB in 2008, and as they say, the rest is history. We are tremendously thankful for your continued connections with UVM and the investments that you and Paul have made at our university. Our students have benefited greatly from your professional advice and guidance, and your support of important UVM initiatives such as the rehabilitation of the UVM Alumni House have left a lasting impact on our campus. Jeff and Paul, we are deeply grateful that you have created this endowed faculty professorship in Earth Sciences to further academic research and teaching in this very important field. Your impact on the department and on our college is significant, and from the bottom of our hearts, thank you. It is now my pleasure to invite Dr. Jane Oketch to the lectern to share some remarks upon this auspicious occasion. Jane.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Bill, and thanks to all of you for being here today to celebrate the appointment of an outstanding member of our faculty and to recognize the visionary philanthropy of Jeff Nelson and Paul Mahan. As UVM's Vice Provost for Faculty Affairs, it is my great privilege to take part in this significant academic tradition and to honor Professor Keith Kleypas. Keith exemplifies excellence as a scientist, esteemed colleague, mentor, and educator, and embodies the qualities that make our institution a vibrant place for students to excel. At UVM, we care deeply about people and our planet. Professor Kleypas's work is a great example of our distinctive excellence in academics and research activities centered on human health, thriving communities, and the environment. As a land-grant institution, we are committed to serving our community, addressing key challenges and promoting the health and well-being of our state and citizens. Outstanding faculty members like Professor Kleypas are absolutely critical at every level to achieving our vision and fulfilling our mission as a university. Indeed, as I have often said, our remarkable faculty and staff are the university's most precious assets. From my perspective, endowed professorships and chairs are an essential part of our academic fabric. Appointment to an endowed position is among the highest academic honors and allows us to recognize and celebrate our most accomplished scholars. Endowed professorships have an even greater impact, though. They signify our commitment to educational excellence and innovation, and they are incredible recruitment and retention tools to attract and retain outstanding faculty. Over the years, each endowed professor or chair will touch hundreds of thousands of lives through teaching, mentoring, research, and collaborative work. Today, we are proud to recognize Professor Kleppers as an accomplished member of our faculty who is truly deserving of this honor, and we warmly welcome him to the growing ranks of endowed professors and chairs at the University of Vermont. We are profoundly grateful to Jeff Nelson and Paul Mahan for their lasting impact on this university and its ability to attract and retain exceptional faculty members like Professor Keith Kleppers. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jane. It is now time for us to learn a bit more about our investee. I invite Professor Shelley Raybeck, Chair of the Department of Geography and Geosciences, to the lectern for some remarks about Professor Keith Kleppers.
Thank you, Bill. It is my great pleasure to be here to celebrate this appointment, to thank the donors, Jeff Nelson and Paul Mahan, for providing and everyone present with a little background on our honoree. Keith has been a member of our faculty at UVM since 1999, joining us after initially working at the School of Geosciences at University of Sydney, Australia, and prior to that, completing a 2-year NSF postdoctoral fellowship at Princeton University, Bryn Mawr College, and Virginia Polytechnic Institute. Over the last 25 plus years, Keith has made significant contributions to geological and geosciences research and education. He is a widely recognized and highly respected scholar at the local to international level. Keith is a highly cited expert in the structural and tectonic evolution of mountain belts at convergent margins and in the relationships between deformation and magmatism in magmatic arcs. His research has taken him to far-flung locations like New Zealand and close to home like here in Vermont. Since joining UVM, Keith has been a prolific scholar, publishing over 70 major peer-reviewed papers in prestigious journals and garnering close to $3 million in external awards, principally from the National Science Foundation. Professor Emeriti Shar Mertens wrote in her nomination letter, quote, "A hallmark of Keith's scholarship is his ability to maintain collaborations with many different types of scientists, a multidisciplinarity that is critical in addressing complex problems," unquote. In fact, Keith is currently working with geography colleagues from his alma mater, Colgate University, to understand socio-ecological change in Tierra del Fuego, the original location of a part of his PhD work. Also telling of his successful academic career, Keith's peers hold his work and leadership in high esteem. He was selected by the tectonics community to be co-author on the NSF vision document, Future Directions in Tectonic Research, a clear indication that his colleagues value his scholarship. He is also the co-author of the leading textbook in the field of global tectonics and is currently working on the 4th edition. He is also an elected fellow to the Geological Society of America, a very prestigious honor. Keith's research has also taken place here in Vermont, supporting critical needs of the state. His ongoing collaborations with the Vermont Geological Survey and Vermont's Agency of Natural Resources include work on natural hazards like landslides and investigations of ongoing environmental degradation, such as subsurface transports of PFASs, which move through the fractured networks that were generated millions of years ago by the uplift of the Green Mountains. He has contributed his knowledge and skills to these projects through innovative application of geological concepts, spatial analysis, and the use of digital technologies. But perhaps Keith is never more fulfilled in his scholarship than when he is in the field, be it in New Zealand, Tierra del Fuego, Southern California, or in the Green Mountain State. And it is through his field work over the last 3 years that Keith has introduced our administrative assistants, the UVM procurement services, and myself to, 1, how to rent a boat that will take one up narrow fjords with crashing waves to inaccessible field sites in the southern Alps of New Zealand. Or 2, how to pay for a helicopter time to the aforementioned boat or other inaccessible field sites with a UVM per card. Keith's fieldwork is UVM's risk management's worst nightmare. On a more serious note, Keith has shared his love of fieldwork with countless undergraduate and graduate students through the teaching of field courses and mentoring students in both English and Spanish on research projects based in the field. His high-impact, field-based teaching approach lends itself to problem-based and place-based learning using the local landscape and its diverse geology as text. In Keith's courses, students from the very earliest stages of their coursework engage in exciting and challenging fieldwork and research, making new discoveries, gaining practical experience, and adding tools like GIS and drone surveys to their toolkits. But probably the most important contribution that Keith makes to his students is the transmitting to them of his passion and care for his craft. What student couldn't resist the excitement on their professor's face as he stood with 1 foot on the Australian plate and 1 foot on the Pacific plate while leading a regional geology field course in New Zealand? My sincere congratulations to you, Keith, on this honor. May your research continue to enrich your field and your teaching spark a passion for geosciences in our students. Well, it is the moment we've been waiting for. I would like to ask Dean Falls and Professor Kleypus to join me here at the lectern. Okay, stay here. Okay. We will now present Professor Kleypus with a medallion that marks this occasion and signifies his status as the holder of an endowed faculty position. We hope he will wear it with his academic regalia at commencement and other official university functions. All right. Professor Kleypus embodies the College of Arts and Sciences' passion for excelling in teaching and research and advancing the pursuit of knowledge. He is a quintessential teacher-scholar whose expertise has enriched his teaching and mentorship and has impacted our academic community in countless ways. Professor Kleypus is an outstanding scholar and educator. His work brings great distinction to the College of Arts and Sciences and the University of Vermont, and we are so proud to count him among our faculty. Professor Kleypus, as the inaugural Nelson-Mahan Green and Gold Professor in Earth Sciences, we honor you today with this medallion. May it serve as an enduring symbol of excellence that you strive to achieve in all aspects of your professional life. Keith, the lectern is yours.
Morning, everybody. Thank you all for coming. And thanks, Shelley, Professor Rayback, for those kind words. So about 10 years ago, I I was sitting in my office, Delahanty Hall on Trinity campus, and I get this package from somewhere across campus. It's in this manila envelope. It's got the little string. It's a campus envelope. There's no indication who it's from or which office it originates from. And inside there's this gorgeous plaque. It's green and gold. It's from UVM. It's got this little stand you can put on your desk. And it says, Professor Keith Kleppeis, retired. So it got me laughing. And then I thought, oh, wait a minute, somebody's trying to send me a message. So I went to see the chair at the time, Andrea Lini, and he's like, that's weird. Maybe I can find out what's happening. So he investigates. No indication ever who sent this or where it's from. So he comes back and he goes, well, maybe you should just keep doing what you're doing and we'll see what happens. And here we are 10 years later. This is a huge honor for me. And before I say anything else, I want to express a deep, heartfelt thank you to Jeff Nelson and Paul Mahan. Your vision and generosity in supporting earth science is so incredibly important now. I am inspired by it, especially now, because we are, as you know, at a time when higher education in general and earth science in particular is under some extreme external pressures. And it inspires me because it reminds me how important it is to keep moving forward, keep asking important questions about the natural world and the role of people within it. And I think together we can continue to promote earth sciences, foster new discoveries, not just here in Vermont, but around the world, and continue to grow our new geosciences program. I also want to thank the university, the college, and my new home department, Geography, Geosciences, and my geography colleagues. As big an honor as this is for me, I see it as recognizing a much broader community. I am well aware that any success I have is directly attributable to the people I get to work with. Many of you are here. We are honored today with a long line of UVM chairs that have supported earth science, starting with the current chair, Professor Rayback. Andrea Lini, the former chair of the Department of Geology, is online. Professor and former chair Charlotte Mertens, a wonderful friend of the department and one of my mentors, is here. And I'm so glad that Professors Jack Drake and Barry Doolin are here. Barry hired me away from Sydney back in the day over 20 years ago. Thank you so much for what you do and what you've done for me. I would not be here without it. I am also aware that this award recognizes talented staff members. I am so excited that two people that I've worked with so long, Sabrinka Mersick and Robin Hops, are here, as long as other people like Nicole Perot, Jennifer Ray Dolan, Carrie Ann Rock. These people, thank you so much for what you do. You make this place run. I would not be here without you as well. And I have a special thank you for my wife, Gabriella. Gabriella is a senior technician in geography and geosciences, and it is no joke when I say that nothing in teaching and research happens in geosciences without her facilitating it in some way. Gabby, you are the wisest, hardest working, and most resourceful person I know. Thank you. I also want to thank people online. I also want to thank people online, including my family, my parents, Richard and Beth. So one thing I want to do with this award and what this professorship means to me is the ability to strengthen and engage deeper with communities both here in UVM and outside. And one of the partnerships I am most proud of is the one with the Vermont Geological Survey, which is part of the Agency of Natural Resources. And we're honored today with the head of ANR, Julie Moore, is here. We have the state geologist, Ben Dijon, here, my longtime collaborator and friend, John Kim, with whom we've mentored 23 undergraduate students together. My former student, Emmett Myrick, is here, who wrote one of the best theses I've ever read. I am so glad you are here. And I think moving forward, we can continue to train a new generation of students in places where earth science meets society, places like flooding, landslides, resource management, understanding bedrock. These aren't just projects, they serve Vermont communities. And last, I'll just mention one of these projects I'm very excited about is one I started with Gabriella and a human geographer at Colgate who happens to be my brother. His name is Professor Peter Klebwise. And we're trying to bridge that gap between human geography and geosciences against the backdrop of climate change in Patagonia. The southern hemisphere is understudied, and we're going to see if we can fix that. So before I turn the podium over to Jess Nelson, I want to offer my sincere thanks again to both of you, Paul and Jeff, for your vision, your generosity to the university. Thank you so much for the support, and to my friends, mentors, colleagues, family, students. You are the reason why this work matters.
Thank you so much, Keith, for those brilliant remarks. I would now like to ask Jeff Nelson and Paul Mahan to come forward for a presentation.
Paul doesn't want to come up.
Okay, Paul doesn't have to come
You don't have to say anything, though. Come on up.
up. Come on up and stand over here.
Yeah,
We can do this properly
at least for a photo.
so that Howie doesn't get angry at me. So, Jeff and Paul, your generosity has made this endowed professorship possible. It will forever stand as an enduring legacy to your commitment to advance the teaching and research of earth sciences at the University of Vermont. We are pleased to present you with this commemorative copy of the medallion just awarded to Dr. Kleypas, and it will serve as a tangible reminder of how grateful we are for your extraordinary support.
Thank you. So, Paul and I are so honored and humbled to see this day come, and I thank all of you for being here today, both in person and via the live stream. My story begins in about 2020, actually begins in the late 1970s, so I'm going to start there. But don't worry, I won't keep you here all day. Having grown up in suburban Boston, I came to Vermont to study at UVM in the late 1970s, having already developed an interest in geography and earth sciences during high school. I quickly found my home at UVM in the Perkins building, then the home of the UVM geology department, and spent, as I was talking about last night, spent many hours in the basement office with Dr. Alan Hunt in the paleontology lab, which was great fun. So through that connection, I began work as a summer intern at a local consulting firm here in Burlington, which continued then to a full-time position as I worked towards my master's degree in civil engineering in the early 1990s. I feel that my geosciences education here at UVM set me up very well and was instrumental in having a successful career here in Vermont as I found my own consulting firm in the mid-90s and then transitioned to the first office of VHB, a regional leading engineering firm, in 2008. Today, VHB employs over 100 professionals here in Vermont, working out of 3 offices, and I give a special shout out to Bob Breslin, who was one of the original founders of VHB, who's here with his wife, Kathy. We're really honored to have you here today. We really appreciate it. So during my career in Vermont, we worked with a hugely diverse group of clients and stakeholders and solved many complex and challenging environmental issues. Our North Star was always, how can we leave things better than we found them? And a great example that we worked on for decades was with the ski resorts and regulators in Vermont to solve long-standing water quality issues and associated with stormwater runoff and come up with remediation plans to address these impacts, which those plans have been implemented and have been very successful. And this is all with the foundation of what I learned here at UVM through geosciences. And I'm very happy also to see a number of my VHB colleagues and folks from the Agency of Natural Resources here. And I give a special shout out to Julie Moore from the agency, the secretary of the agency, who's here today. I know there are many demands on your time, and I really appreciate you making the effort to be here. So let's go back to 2020. Obviously, as we all know, in that year we were in the throes of the COVID-19 pandemic and lots of related uncertainty. At that time, UVM was looking seriously at eliminating programs with declining enrollments, including the Department of Geology. So in December of that year, I wrote to the president of the university expressing my concern and offering some ideas on possible alternative courses of action. As those of you who know me well, as I'm not one to sort of sit back and let events roll over me, so I was really anxious to see what could happen. So those things percolated for a while, and then in the summer of 2021, Shar Mertens met with me down at our farm in Addison, and there you are. That was a really important day for me. And, you know, that conversation led to Dean Falls and ultimately to our establishment of this Green and Gold Professorship. It was really our way of seeking in a small and tangible effort to help ensure that there would always be a continued opportunity for earth sciences education here at UVM, both now and in the future. And I am very, very pleased to see Dr. Keith Klepis be named the inaugural professor under this endowment. His background and scholarship are the perfect fit for how we envisioned this grant recipient to be. So, in closing, I just want to thank everyone who worked so hard to make this day possible, and I'm super excited for the future and where this is going to go, and I'm also hopeful that through our efforts we might incentivize others who have ties with the university to do some things themselves. So we're excited to see that in the future. So thanks again, and I'll turn it back to Bill.
Thank you so much, Jeff. As we reach the end of our formal program, I'd like to again thank you for being here to celebrate Keith's appointment and to gratefully recognize Jeff and Paul for their impactful and very generous philanthropy. We take pride every day in important teaching, scholarship, and research that our College of Arts and Sciences faculty members carry out. And it's important to acknowledge that so much of the work they do is enriched by the support of the university's donors and advocates. This concludes our program. I invite you all to remain for refreshments that are provided at the back of the room. Could I ask the program participants to congregate up front for some photographs before joining the reception? Thank you again for being here. Much appreciated.